Attention after the Conservative Liberal Democrat Party winning 300 seats in the lower house election.
That's right, and with their coalition partner, New Komeito, it looks like they're set to have a two-thirds majority in the lower house, and that's getting a lot of attention, starting in the Japanese press. Let's take a look at an article in Asahi Shimbun. It calls on the LDP president Shinzo Abe, who's set to become the new prime minister. It says that he should use his majority to bring pragmatism to Japanese politics, because it points out that Japan is facing a lot of problems right now. It has a dwindling economy, what it calls outrageous provocations from China, political instability. In the last 6 years, there have been 6 prime ministers. And it says that Abe is no political silver bullet, because despite this landslide victory, there wasn't a big turnout and not a lot of enthusiasm for the election. And according to Asahi Shimbun, Abe should keep this in mind and govern the nation in a humble manner and promote political stability.
A lot of the papers are focusing on what they're saying is a rather nationalist tone of Abe's election speech.
That's right. This is an article in Le Monde which says this has raised quite a lot of alarm in the international community, especially this nationalist dialogue with regards to China and this ongoing island dispute between China and Japan. Now, Le Monde points out that Shinzo Abe was seen as a hawk during the campaign, and since his election, he's continued this tough talk, insisting that these disputed islands called Diaoyu or Senkaku, whether you're Japanese or Chinese, he insists they belong to Japan. And not only that, but he's vowed to step up Japan's military capabilities, and is even threatened to change the constitution, especially Article 9, which states that Japanese people forever renounce war as a sovereign right of the nation. And Le Monde actually explores this further and interviews a former French diplomat named Yo Jung-chen, who was stationed both in Japan and China, to try to understand this rise in nationalism. And according to him, Japanese voters were drawn to this nationalism because of this, what they felt was a threat, not only from China, but also from North Korea. So this could explain this attraction of nationalism.
What about the Chinese press and how they're reacting to
Well, they're not very reassured. According to the editorial in China Daily, it's called Concern Over Abe's Moves. And it says that for the first time in decades, national defense played a significant role in this election. And not only that, but because of the landslide victory, it means that Abe is going to be able to push through these changes in defense policy, in military policy. And according to China Daily, despite the fact that Abe tried to reassure China by saying that he was going to try to improve relations, all this was lip service. And they say that his policies are most likely to destabilize the whole Pacific region in general.
OK, well, let's go back to the other story, which has, of course, been dominating the papers this week, the deadly shooting in the US last week. Still getting a lot of attention as well, isn't it?
That's right, and let's stick to China Daily, actually. They have an interesting cartoon that I think sums up the situation quite well. We see a Statue of Liberty mourning the school shooting on the one side, but also proudly brandishing this assault rifle on the other. So I think it sums up quite well how America is torn on the gun control debate, because that's what we're hearing a lot of in the international press today. Some of the media is calling for action and legislation. For instance, the Washington Post today, in their editorial, they say there's no excuse for inaction, there's no defensible reason for civilians to own assault weapons, and they call for a ban on high-capacity magazines.
Well, meanwhile, the Independent in the UK, they're taking a closer look at the other side of the debate. This is the National Rifle Association.
That's right. The NRA is sticking to its guns, according to the Independent, and staying silent on the vital debate. Now, since Friday's shootings, we haven't heard any official comments from the NRA, but others have been quick to defend America's right to defend arms. For instance, there's a man in Texas called Louis Gohmert who said that actually it would have been good if the teachers at the school had had rifles themselves to be able to stop the shooter. So quite a strikingly different side on the gun controls debate.
There's always two sides to every argument, whichever side you happen to agree with, of course. Florence, thanks very much. Florence Filmano here with the international papers on Force Vanguard. Now, after you next, it's going to be time for today's business. We're inching towards the edge, of course, of the fiscal cliff. We're almost there. Are American politicians closer to a budget deal? Stephen Carroll will explain after the break.